Another fight on that card that I think is interesting, Darren Till versus Dricus du Plessis. I would say that that is the fight that I am most excited for, aside from Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that fight, but I wanted to ask both you guys, what do you make of Darren Till? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think maybe he's just had a little bit of an unlucky career? Some guys have called him like lazy, he's getting fat in the off season and he's pulling out of fights because he gets injured and he's not always training. And you know how it is if you go into a training camp after being lazy for a few months, you're more prone to injury. So what do you guys think of Darren Till, and who do you guys think is going to win that matchup between Darren and Dricus du Plessis?
I think Till's gonna get schooled, honestly. I think he's gonna embarrass. I think he's gonna get honestly, I think he's gonna get hurt again. That's what I think. I think he's gonna get hurt. I
Think
think
he's
like
going to pull out?
no, I like in the fight, I hate to like say this and like predict this, but I think he's gonna hurt his leg or something. I feel like something. I know he's got his knee problems, and I think Duplessis is gonna really chop at those legs, and I think one of them is gonna really get him in the knee, and I think he's gonna lose the fight by that.
Right.
Or at least it'll slow him down, and then he'll lose the fight eventually. But I think the thing about Darren Till, he's kind of a one trick pony. Like he can only strike. His wrestling is nothing. Takedown defense is nothing. The dude has no work ethic whatsoever. He gets fat in the off season. Like it's some UK thing because him and Patty, like
Yeah.
they both just like gain like 50 pounds every off season, and
Yeah.
you can't expect to like beat guys who in their off season like are somewhat like okay with their diet, you know what I'm saying? Like or like some or
Discipline. Yeah.
who are still training hard. Like you know what I mean? Like you can't possibly like you can't expect to just train hard for training camp and not get those kinds of injuries. You know what I mean? Like and yeah, I think Darren Till is just better off just being Chimaev's water boy or a striking coach or something because I think his career is over.
Damn, that's a rough one. Jared, what do you think?
I'm feeling like in the case of Darren Till, man, I feel like he's probably close to I think he's just legitimately declining. I don't think it was necessarily that he was super overrated. He was, but I don't think that's the entire reason we're seeing this. I think he's just one of those weird fighters that had like a short-lived prime or whatever. He had like this quote that I saw. I saw it somewhere. Maybe I'm just wrong, but hopefully I think this is accurate. I think he was saying that he doesn't want to be in like five rounders anymore or something like that. And he wants to be in more like three
Oh,
round
he's
fights.
too
If you're
lazy.
saying that, in my opinion, it's saying like these training camps are like catching up to me. It's hurting my body. I've got a whole bunch of injuries because I wasn't taking care of my body. And that's, sort of to Jacob's credit there. I feel like maybe if these like camps are, taking a tear on his body, maybe he has like some knee problems or something like that that have been acting up during camp or something. Like you don't just say that for no reason. And I feel like he
Right.
genuinely feels like he's maybe on the B side of his career there.
Like, do you think the UFC cut him if he loses this fight? Because what, it's gonna be five straight losses or something? Like it's like enough is enough at some point, you know?
I mean, I don't know if the UFC cuts him because he is a big star, I mean, sure,
Is
he's
he
lost a little
anymore
bit of star
though?
power. He lost a little bit of star power, but there is hype around Darren Till's name, and for me, there's always going to be some level of interest to see him fight. Now, it depends how he does in this fight. If he gets blown out, if he has some weird injury, then of course that'll just be the straw that broke the camel's back. And to be honest, I think that Darren Till may just be one of those guys where he's just plagued by injury and he can't really turn his career around. And I think we may have just seen, as you said, a short-lived prime. But he has potential, man, because I feel like Darren Till's one of those guys that's like 1, 2 wins away from the title shot at all times. Of course, if he loses this one, he cannot turn his career around. And this is a sink or swim moment for him. Dricus du Plessis is a well-rounded fighter. He's a good striker. He's not the best striker. He's not the most
Got
technical
power
striker.
though.
He's
He's
got
got
power. He's a little wild, and he's got a good submission game too. He's a decent grappler. And Darren Till has, at least his last time fighting. I know he was injured, but I mean, he still fought and he got his ass whooped by Derek Brunson. He was taken down really easily. You know, Here's the thing about Darren Till. I think Darren Till is good enough to make any fight with a striker close on the feet. Like I think he's very defensively sound. he doesn't get hit very easily. And part of that is due to the fact that he's not really willing to trade with people and just, go in, reckless abandon, try to knock someone out and take their head off really soon, because he learned his lesson against Jorge Masvidal, who, he dropped Jorge within like the first minute of that fight, within like the first 15 seconds of that fight. And that gave him a lot of confidence. And this is after he lost to Tyron Woodley. And he was just thinking, this is just a gimme fight. I'm supposed to go out here and destroy this guy. And he paid the price, man. He learned that, he doesn't have that one shot kill power. I mean, sure, he's got some power, but he can't necessarily go out there and land it without fearing and getting knocked out these days. And I just think his body's going to break down. It's unfortunate because I think he's going to lose. I think he's going to get submitted by Dricus du Plessis. So it's sad to see. I like Darren Till, but I still think there are there's something about the UK. I love when there are good prospects out of the UK, because anytime they can do well, it's good to see them on top because their country gets behind them. And Leon Edwards, it's good that he's champ right now. Arnold Allen, he's a great fighter. Tom Aspinall, I'm really scared that he's going to be plagued by injuries too, because he has had a knee issue in the past, and then he had that injury flare up when he got in the fight with Curtis Blades. So, I'd love to see him do well, but I guess we're all thinking he's going to lose this fight. It'd be cool to see him get a knockout, but I don't think he has that kind of power.
Of course it would be cool. Like, I mean, I want the best for Darren Till. I just like I just don't. I think he's lazy, and I think that Masvidal fight really took his soul. Not the Woodley fight, the Masvidal fight. I think that's the one that really messed him up. And you also made a really good point about how he does against strikers. And I think he always is going to do good against strikers because like he's a really good striker. He is a very pure, like nice striker. So
he doesn't have a lot of tools, though. That's one of the reasons why I think he's always been a little overrated, because it seems that all he does, he throws a left hand and a left roundhouse kick, and that's it. Like, I haven't
fast
seen
punches too, and like,
first of all, he doesn't really throw any kicks, and he's got really big legs. He's a really powerful guy with a powerful base. He doesn't really throw a lot of kicks. I feel like all he does is throw his left hand. And if you're the Muay Thai guy who competed in Muay Thai when you were growing up, how is it that you're not throwing any kicks? And you can only go so far when you're just throwing a left hand. And for sure, he's very accurate and he can land it. But, unless you have some, freakish power, you can't just rely on one left hand. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Maybe at welterweight it was different, but at middleweight, it's not going to put guys out. So, yeah.
I wanted to actually talk about. Wait, Jared, so what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about his chin as well because he's been getting hurt recently in a lot of his fights. Obviously, Woodley nearly killed him there. Jorge finished the job. Rob hurt him pretty bad, I believe. And then did he get hurt against Brunson, or am I just tripping?
I think he may have gotten rocked, but I don't know if he rocked Brunson.
It was it was ground and pound. He got some ground.
Yeah, he was getting beat up on the ground, and that probably does affect your chin as well. He actually had a good moment before he got finished against Derek Brunson, where he was able to stun him on the feet. And again, he has good stand up, but that was against Derek Brunson. He's not that great on the feet either.
Yeah.
But I'm just worried about his takedown defense. Because here's what I'm worried about with Dricus du Plessis. Dricus du Plessis is well rounded. He hasn't really had to show it in the UFC, but he's originally a guy that would go to his grappling. So I'm worried that he's going to be mixing it up, and eventually Darren Till is going to be fearing the takedown. He may get knocked out.